The following program is a presentation of Jez Sports. Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the Main Event Podcast. We're here today to do a WrestleMania weekend mop-up, the events that also happen on WrestleMania weekend, but obviously with WrestleMania being 107 hours long all by itself, we had to push that back a little bit. So we will be discussing today IMPACTxNJPW Multiverse United, Only the Strong Survive.
That's a name.
Robots in Disguise. What else has it got? Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor, which is double honor for those keeping score, and NXT Stand and Deliver, which I assume you can only do if the person's come to collect. Otherwise, you've got to walk and deliver. But yeah. These are some weird names, aren't they?
They are weird names.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm Jez. That's Dan. How are you?
I'm fine, because I'm still the champion.
Yeah, wow.
With this beautiful belt that we've had for like 6 months and you haven't actually seen it in person yet.
I haven't, no, because somebody decided not to bother turning up to Clash at the Castle when I would have seen it. But
yeah, but that's because I was dying.
Seems like a terrible excuse to me. You can let me know out there in the Multiverse
United
whether you agree. Multiverse United just sounds like a terrible amateur soccer team.
It does.
Like that. Have you heard of Hashtag United?
No,
they're a soccer team of YouTube like people, and it's
Jesus Christ.
So you could have Multiverse United versus Hashtag United in a match to determine who would actually give a damn. Because I
don't like soccer. And I would doubly not like it if I watch YouTubers playing it.
Yeah,
so
I'm right there with you. So there you go. Anyway, let's get started. 3 events to discuss. We're not going to do every single match from every single show.
Jesus God, no.
No, that would take a very long time. Basically, we're going to pick and choose what we consider to be not necessarily the best, but the most noteworthy matches. So they could be terrible matches, but they merit discussion, and go through them, give each show a rating out of 5, and go from there. I'm just going to bring up the cards for each of them so that we can go through it. But let's kick off with a discussion of Impact X NJPW Multiverse United, Only the Strong Survive, Robots in Disguise, More Than Meets the Eye. What did you think of this event in general?
Just why?
It was a strange one, wasn't it? I know that it was supposed to be a team up between Impact and New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
It ended up being mostly a team up between Impact and New Japan Strong, which is their indie arm in the States with the LA Dojo and all that kind of thing. And I don't really feel like it built a whole lot of story or anything for either brand, to be honest.
It didn't really do anything.
No. And it was on the Thursday in direct competition with Impact Wrestling's weekly television show.
Yeah.
You competed with yourself. Good job there, Impact
They shot
Wrestling.
themselves in the foot there.
They did a little bit, yeah. And it was a missed opportunity, considering all of the turmoil that Impact have had recently with Josh Alexander having to relinquish and Mickie James in question. Maybe she will also have to relinquish hers, depending on how her injury is and all that kind of stuff. Why not use this event that will have more eyes on it, I would expect, than Rebellion, because of the weekend it's on, to crown a new Impact World Champion, or at least have the people who are going to be competing for that championship in prominent matches, basically. Yeah. So it was a little bit on the strange side as far as I'm concerned. And it was not very well produced either.
No, not at all. I don't think the venue was very good. The staging wasn't very good. The camera work was not very good.
I mean, there was the one angle that was directly inside the ring, a close up inside the ring. That one was good.
Yeah,
I don't know where they were positioned, but yeah. And then your normal hard camera was just looking directly at lights along the like the top balcony, and yeah, it was I wasn't hugely impressed.
The big LED board that has like the wrestlers' background thing as they come in was nowhere near where they come in.
No,
it was behind the commentators for some reason.
Yeah, they just had to try and squeeze into what was a theatre, basically. Where was it? Let me look. Yeah, in the Globe Theatre. Like, okay, it's a historic venue.
Yeah,
but maybe
just why
put it somewhere else? There's lots of other places.
And also, when the camera went to the commentators, you couldn't really see the commentators because they were so backlit.
Yeah,
they were just black.
It was very, very like foggy, wasn't it, and dusty. So anyway, so generally we weren't hugely impressed with this event. There were some like okay matches on it. I don't think there was a bad match on the card. They just came and went pretty inconsequentially. Like the tag team match, the 4-way tag team match was fine.
That was fine.
The women's match was fine.
Yeah.
The main event was fine. Actually, I felt like Tanahashi was moving pretty well.
Yeah.
Considering he's been a bit kind of on the slow side.
Yeah.
But the only match that we're really going to discuss in any detail is Kenta versus Minoru Suzuki for the Strong Openweight Championship. Probably the most prominent championship match on this show. It was the pre-main event after all. So let's get into pros and cons. You can kick off. What did you like about this match?
Pros, I liked how Kenta was kind of like Suzuki.
Yeah.
You know, very similar, kind of taunting, all of that, all of the above, you know, rubbing Suzuki's head.
Yeah, I've got that. Kenta winding up Suzuki by using Suzuki's own tactics. It was very much a I don't know if this has actually been the relationship between them, but it was very much the pupil taking over from the teacher and just generally using their own shtick to wind them up. And if there's anyone you don't want to wind up, it's Suzuki. But if there is anyone that looks like mega pissed off when you piss them off, it's Suzuki. Like, he does give a death stare, and it's a great death stare. So that was cool. Keep going. Just
Suzuki. I just like Suzuki. As they reminded me, his nickname Murder Grandpa.
Murder Grandpa. Yeah, I put in the notes Strong Style Grandpa because I couldn't remember the murder bit. And so that
just
was cool.
I just love Suzuki.
Yeah, I think he's great.
It's just hilarious.
Yeah,
and Kenta's getting there as well.
Yeah, I quite like Kenta, especially in Bullet Club. He just needs to stop hurting himself, and then he'll be all right.
Well, I think we can say that about many people.
That's true. Yeah. And I was thinking, watching this, what a missed opportunity it was back in the day that Hideo Itami, Kenta, was never NXT champion. Like, in that group of people that he was with, to not have won the NXT championship was massive missed opportunity. Maybe he wouldn't have left if.
Imagine what he could be doing now.
Imagine, indeed. Yes, he could be jobbing to
Omos.
That's probably what he'd be doing. Yeah. What else did you like?
I can't really think of any more. I just enjoyed it. I just remember enjoying it.
Yeah. Have you got any cons or?
Not really.
No, I don't have
because
any.
Because it wasn't like an amazing match. It was a good match. Wasn't amazing, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, and the reason we picked this one, I think, is because it was the best match on the card. But even then, it wasn't a 5-star match.
No.
I liked the ground / submission game, really working on the limbs. That was cool. the back and forth kicks to the face. Some people exchange punches and they're like, boo, yay, boo. Yeah, well, they were doing it with their feet. I'm like, yeah, that's hardcore.
That's totally.
I like that this was two big names fighting over what is basically a low card belt. That was kind of cool. And then the cheat to win. Low blow, use the ropes, and then taunt Suzuki afterwards. Suzuki tries to get back in the ring and and try and be a murder grandpa, but they won't let him. They're like, back to the home, grandpa. Come on, that's enough. That's enough from
Time
you.
for your medication.
Yeah. So there you go. That was IMPACTxNJPW Multiverse United. Only the strong survive.
Robots in disguise.
Robots in disguise.
Go Power Rangers.
Let's give it a score then. And sticking with the theme, I would like you today, Dan, for Impact, etc., to give me a score out of 5 robots in disguise.
All right. It was very meh for me, but some parts brought it down, like with the production and all that sort of thing. So I'm going to actually give it like a 2.
A 2, okay, right, yeah. I mean, I'm going to go straight down the middle. That because there wasn't a bad match on the card, it was all very fine. It was all just we put on a show, and here it is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a 2.5, straight down the middle.
Straight down the middle. Fair enough.
Not a glowing, review by any means, but there were just no stakes at all. Like it was very much let's put on a show because it's WrestleMania weekend, and that's a waste because it's not like the world's eyes are on Impact Wrestling right now.
No,
so you could have used it as an opportunity to really sell yourself and bring in a new viewership before your big pay-per-view coming up in a fortnight from that time. So wasted opportunity in my opinion.
Yes.
Now then, moving on, going zoop along that way, zoop into the middle. It's Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor. Let's discuss first of all. They have added a new voice for Ring of Honor ahead of further announcements in the AEW family as well.
Yeah.
Nigel McGuinness is now a commentator for Ring of Honor. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, fine.
I don't like Nigel McGuinness.
Don't you?
I mean, the dude, fine. His wrestling when he did it, fine. But as a commentator, I just find him so irritating. I don't know why. I never when he was on NXT. I was like, ugh. He's one of those. I'm just going to make noises when things happen, like ooh, ah, ooh, blah, 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 blah. And it's just a bit like that. And I'm like, ugh.
Who would you rather commentate on NXT? Him or Booker T?
This is a good question.
Because I know how you feel about Booker T.
Yeah, I mean, Booker T is a very similar style of commentator. Just make a lot of noise, sell themselves more than they sell.
You've got to make a decision.
I don't think
we are not moving on until you've made a decision.
I don't think I can do it.
Got to make a decision.
It's probably Booker T, maybe. I
Jesus
don't know.
Christ!
You could ask me this on a different day, and I'd say the other way because
I'll ask you when we get to an NXT Stand and Deliver.
Honestly, neither. Can we have Wade Barrett back on NXT and literally no Nigel McGuinness on anything? Yeah.
What about what's the bloke on Raw at the moment?
Oh, Kevin Patrick. I don't like him either.
Kevin Patrick.
Yeah.
We just need to get rid of a load of commentators.
We do need to get rid of a load of commentators.
Get rid of Kevin Patrick, Booker T, Nigel McGuinness.
Don't ever let Big Show commentate again. He's not very good either.
JR just needs to remember what shows he's on.
Yeah, they just need to minimize JR's role. JR is still fine. They just need to not give him too much to do. Don't make him the lead commentator, and you'll be fine. Like if you just had that 3-man team on AEW as Tony Schiavone as the lead, Excalibur as the play-by-play / does all the stuff that you have to say a million words in 3 seconds. He's really good at that. And then just have JR as the third voice that only needed to chip in every now and again. Then
he just comes out with his catchphrases every now and then.
Exactly. Yeah, makes the audience feel comfortable. Like, JR, there you go.
That's JR.
It's like watching the wrestling 20 years ago. Wonderful.
Let's get his barbecue sauce.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Watch him retweet people in bikinis on Twitter because that's what he does. Yeah. So yeah, it wasn't the greatest start to Ring of Honor, and I was actually going, oh no, and my wife came in and was like, what? And I was like, Nigel McGuinness is back, and she was like, oh, is that it? Right, okay. But that's how negatively I reacted to Nigel McGuinness being there. Anyway, moving on. As we mentioned, not going to do every match, but certainly more matches that we felt merited discussion in this one compared to Robots in Disguise. First up, El Hijo del Vikingo. I'm probably butchering that. Defeated Commander for the AAA Mega Campeón. I don't know what championship is in Spanish. They call it the Mega Campeón. Like that's what you are. But
is that what they call it?
But I don't know what the actual belt's called. Championship.
It's the big, thick championship with no design on the strap.
Yeah, I mean it's a decent looking metal bit. I quite like it.
Yeah, but the strap needs something.
Probably. Yeah. Anyway, I'll kick off with the pros of this one.
Go.
I certainly have more pros than cons. My only con really is that they couldn't decide between them on commentary how to say Commander or Commander or like they said it about 6 different ways between them. Nigel McGuinness at least got close at the end, I think, to settling it, but he was like Commander at first, and I'm like, oh
Commander,
God, Nigel, you're still Nigel, aren't you? And then by the end, he was actually trying to do like Commander. The same as Ian Riccaboni had it the closest, but even he deviated sometimes, and there was no consistency with how they said it. So that was pretty poor for me. But other than that, wonderful match. Definitely a candidate for the match of the night. I liked seeing the AAA belt on Ring of Honor. Apparently, they've never had that before, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I liked the back and forth like surfboard based maneuvers that they did. Like modified versions of the Mexican surfboard, just switching that back and forth between them. That was cool. Many counter moves. That was pretty cool. You don't see much counter wrestling anymore. It's more just I'll do my spot, then you do your spot, and like so forth. You don't see counter for counter, which was kind of cool. The shooting star press from the apron by Vikingo that was blocked by the knees. That was cool. Yeah. And then just the massive mega athleticism of these guys. So Vikingo from starting on the ring post, then walking the ropes and diving off, even though he was dropped with a power bomb and it didn't work out for him. That was still cool. And then again from post, jumping onto the middle rope and then doing an inverted 270 to the outside. Like one wrong move and that's donezo for you. So good job on working that out. And then Commander literally running the ropes. I don't mean, bouncing off the ropes that they call running the ropes. I mean running along the top of the rope and then hitting Vikingo on the floor with a twisting kind of moonsaulty type thing, but it wasn't really a moonsault. That was cool. And then the 630s. The 630 out of the ring onto the table. Shame the table didn't break. But that shows how well he does the 630, that he's not really laying any impact on. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there. And then the 630 to finish, which did at least appear to have a massive impact. It was a huge splat. That was pretty wicked. I enjoyed a lot of that match.
I mean, I feel like physics kind of had a day off when it came to these two guys.
I like that. That's a great phrase.
Just kind of looked at him and just went, nah, you're all right. You don't need physics.
You do your thing. I'll sit over here and wait until you're done.
Yeah. It's effectively what happened.
It is, yeah. They did defy gravity on several occasions, and I never understand how people can hang in the air for so long.
I know.
How do you do
weird,
it?
Isn't it?
It is weird. Like,
you look at it just like still up there.
Yeah.
Still up there.
Whereas other people just come straight down. It's like,
how?
It doesn't make any sense. There's no.
You could have like a whole match in between them taking off and landing.
Yeah. But there you go. Anything else to add for you?
No, you've summed it up, and I do think this was the match of the night.
Do you? Okay.
I definitely think it was the match of the night.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm going to argue with you. Actually, I think that's
Christ.
Yeah. I mean, there were other good matches, obviously, but but in terms of everything that these guys did, shame they weren't actually, Ring of Honor guys.
Yeah.
I did think it was quite strange to have this as the opening match. I felt like you should probably have kicked off with Ring of Honor guys. But whatever. That's
never mind.
Complaint, really. Yeah. Moving on then. The next match we're going to discuss. Samoa Joe versus Mark Briscoe for the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. I have very mixed feelings about this. Not necessarily about the match, because the match was fine, but anyway, you lead off on this one. What did you think?
It was as you said, it was a fine match. Feel like the wrong person won.
Yes, I feel like this was a colossal waste of everybody's time, really, because I don't know how to phrase this without it sounding bad, but why are you not capitalizing on the moment? Do you know what I mean?
I get what you mean, and it's a
don't mean
hard
to
one
sound
to say, isn't it?
Horrible about it, because we're talking about somebody that has passed away
died.
very sadly, very suddenly, very unexpectedly. But if anything, that should give you more impetus to push Mark Briscoe to the moon. Mark Briscoe is one of your original Ring of Honor guys.
Yeah.
And, the Briscoes as a unit, you probably could argue are one of the pillars of Ring of Honor. Like, there probably wouldn't be a Ring of Honor now without the Briscoes being there. No. And Samoa Joe, likewise, I would say. But why have this match with Samoa Joe if you are not intending to put the belt on Mark Briscoe? Because you had all the emotion of the match. That was a big pro for me. All of the emotion, the family at ringside, all of that. Everybody was behind Mark Briscoe at that point. Even the commentators had kind of dropped their impartiality and were behind Mark Briscoe, and it just seemed like you were building towards this big moment, and you were going to have great celebration. You probably could have brought the locker room out, put Mark Briscoe on the shoulders, and everybody really be celebrating and happy with it. And then you didn't. And it was like, oh, okay. And not only that, for me, it was for the wrong belt. Like, why was he going for the TV title? It should have been for the world title. And he should have beaten Cesaro, Claudio Castagnoli, apologies, in the main event, and had that moment to close out the show. It's just very strange.
Especially as they've revamped, what was it, through 4 of the belts.
Yeah, and that's one of my cons. Why doesn't Samoa Joe get a new belt? Or at the very least, why haven't they grafted the new Ring of Honor logo into the middle of it? It's a nice belt. I wouldn't want to replace
what they did with the women's. Did you notice?
I didn't see the women's one, no.
So the women's is the same belt that was before, but it's silver, and it's got the new Ring of Honor logo in the middle.
So it is a brand new belt, is it?
Brand new belt, but it's not necessarily
it's the
new
same design. Right, okay, yeah.
So I don't know why they couldn't have done that with the TV belt.
You could have just stacked the plates up. Like, literally just weld the new logo in the middle, tidy it up.
That kind of seems like what they did with the women's. Literally, the new logo sticking out like that far.
Yeah. And that's fine. You get layers on belts. Like, you look at some of yours and they're layered on, and it's stacked up. Yeah, exactly. So that would have been fine. But, like, really? You left that one of the nicest belts? You didn't bother upgrading that. Maybe they're waiting for a new one. I don't know.
But... And the TV title, when they held it up at the beginning, you looked at it, it was like, oh god, man, that's looking tatty. There was paint peeling off it. It was all that. It's like, come on, we need a new one, guys.
It could do with a repaint as well, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was negative for me. As far as the match itself is concerned, pros for me are the chops back and forth. It was a proper hard hitting match.
Yeah.
I liked the spot where they had Briscoe dumped on his head. I think it was with a German suplex, and then he just fired up like that didn't faze me, and then he just gets clotheslined inside out again. It's like, no, you will go down, says Joe. That will happen. Other than that, we've kind of covered it.
Yeah.
Just as you've wasted our time here, and you've wasted our emotion.
Yeah.
It's a bit like the tag titles in New York last year for AEW. Like, you can do this later, but it's not going to mean the same.
No.
You need to strike while the iron is hot, and that is one thing that the Tony Khan booking machine is not very good at doing. Is striking while the iron is hot. Like generally, their stories are good, but when there is a key pivotal moment in history, they fail to grasp on it. So.
Yes.
Moving on then, unless you have anything else to say about that one.
No.
No? Okay. Lucha Brothers. The Kingdom. Aussie Open. La Faction Ingobernables. And is that it? I feel like I've missed someone. Oh, Top Flight.
You can't forget Top Flight in this one.
Reach for the Sky ladder match for the vacant-ish Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship. Go on, kick us off. Start with the pros. We know what the con is.
Yeah. I liked all of this match. Great to see everyone doing stuff like this. You know, I liked the new belts.
They're a bit plain.
They're a bit plain.
They're a bit too shiny.
There's one part I like about them.
What's that?
That's the side plates.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen the side plates?
I didn't focus on the side plates. I was too busy being blinded by the main belt.
They pay homage to the Briscoes. They have pictures of the Briscoes on them, which is quite cool. I was like, that's quite a good little bit there.
Yeah. I do like that they have new belts. Of all of the ones, I do feel like, you know, the Briscoe family should keep those old belts.
Yeah,
like,
which they are, you know,
fair.
which is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit like when Brody Lee passed away.
Kind of, but that was just another repainted TNT championship, which they were already doing anyway.
I know, but
I would have liked a completely new design in that instance. But yeah, I know what you mean. They stopped using the exact one that Brody Lee won. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yes.
Yeah. What else?
But loads of spots, trying to rattle them off because, you know, I was so enjoying it, I forgot to write some down.
There was that. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it was just mayhem. Going through a ladder. Can't remember who went through a ladder. Was it one of the Lucha Bros?
It was Aussie Open that put them through, and I think it might have been Ray Fenix that went through. Yeah.
That was cool. They still won it, you know.
Yeah, or maybe it was the Kingdom that put them through. I can't remember.
Yeah.
That was cool.
You know what's overwhelming my thought process?
I do, yeah.
Should we just talk about that? Should we get it over and done with?
Let me get in my pros first, because once we start talking about this, I've got a very kind of personal thing along with this. So
I just can't stop thinking of it.
Yeah.
It's ingrained in my head.
I like the Lucha Bros being the Lucha Bros. I feel like they were the standout in this match, doing what they do in ladder matches. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I liked the Doomsday device by the Kingdom, modified version of it, with Taven diving over the ropes to hit Darius Martin on Bennett's shoulders. That was cool. The Spine Buster on the ladder from Aussie Open to Darius Martin. And just before the thing we're going to discuss, Dante Martin just starting from the ring and like box jumping up onto the ladder that was suspended on the top rope and onto another ladder in the middle of the ring. Mega athleticism. Yeah. So leading into the main con of this match, few other things. Davis of Aussie Open was supposed to be protecting Fletcher as he climbed the ladder, but then when Ray Phoenix came in the ring, all he did was point at him, and then he just grabbed Fletcher down. I'm like, right, that was weird.
Yeah.
Didn't like that. But yes, moving into the main con, I have very, very real first-hand experience of this, obviously, and not only the actual event, but the way that it kind of led up to it. Because for me, Dante Martin probably created a hairline fracture in his leg, in his ankle, when he was pulled down from the ladder. There was a moment where he was pulled down from the ladder, feet first, and his ankle was kind of
rotated a bit.
Yeah, he landed kind of weird on it with a weird ankle twist. And although he kept going in the match and was appeared to be fine, he was limping a little bit for the rest of the match.
Yeah.
And
probably
then
did some injury.
Yes, I think it was like a hairline fracture at that point, and it would have healed fine had he not done some other crazy stuff.
Yes.
But then the broken leg is probably the main con of this.
The fact that it basically twisted all the way round as well.
Yeah, that's because he kept moving. He tried to roll out of the way, and no, mate, just stay there.
Just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop.
But the thing is, when that happens to you,
yes,
you don't actually know that it's broken in the moment immediately.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. You have a weird sensation in your leg, but until you actually look down at your leg and like, oh,
it's
right.
broken.
Yeah. Because I did very similar. Like, I weakened my leg falling out of the loft. A ladder gave way and I landed like flat-footed and like I feel like I probably broke something then because that was mega pain. And then 2 weeks later, I hit it into a fence and it went and didn't quite go all the way around like his did. But it was definitely facing the wrong way.
I was kind of hoping you were going to say that you flipped through into a load of tables and twisted, and then that's how you broke it.
No, I did something way cooler. I was running away from children and tried to leap a fence and failed.
Running away from children.
I mean, I was playing tag and I wasn't going to lose. But yes, very, very similar. His looked more ankle than leg when it was all said and done. But nasty, horrible looking injury. At least it happened at the end.
Yeah, isn't he the one that had that big injury before out of the two of the top flight?
No, it's his brother.
It was his brother. Oh, right.
But between them, they can't stay healthy.
No, I think they need to find something else to do.
I think they just need to be a bit safer, to be honest.
Yeah, don't be idiots.
Like, Dante Martin had that big singles run during the pandemic because his brother was injured.
Out of action.
Yeah, for a long time. And then his brother came back and then got injured again and was out for a long time. So now, it's gonna be a good number of months before he's back. I assume he's had a rod put in there and it's just got to heal it up and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it takes a long time before you can run again. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
So,
experienced man there.
Not fun. Now, there's been a lot of discussion about the spot. How do you feel about the spot in the first place? It's difficult to look back on it knowing that he broke his ankle doing it. But do you think doing that spot was justified? The Canadian Destroyer from ladders through the tables.
Not really.
Why?
I don't know really why, but I'm just thinking about. I'm just like, did you need to do it?
I mean, you could say that of anything in wrestling, really. It's like, did you need to do it? They were out there trying to entertain, and I get what this is. Because there was a big injury, the answer is probably no. They probably shouldn't have done that. But if it had worked out perfectly, it would have been the main thing that people were talking about for the right reasons. So So I'm less concerned about the spot. I do feel like it wasn't really executed as well as it could have been. The idea that he was going to land on the top of the tables and then just roll off, that's always going to be a 6-foot drop.
Yeah.
Onto your feet, which is never a good idea. Never a good idea.
Maybe if someone else did it, I don't know, somebody with a bit more experience with that sort of thing, it might have worked better. I don't know.
I just feel like the tables exist to kind of break your fall a little bit, and the problem is that they didn't really use the tables for that purpose.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a bit. The execution was a bit strange, but I don't mind the spot. It was a strange place to do it as well because there was very little room between the ring and the stage. You had those like ladder things for the steps that were taking up a lot of room. So you were probably conscious of that as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do it in the ring.
Yeah. Could have easily done it in the ring, couldn't you?
Could have easily done it in the ring. Then there's less of a drop.
You know, if you wanted the competitors to still be competing, why don't you get like Maria to put the tables up or something?
Yeah,
because she was doing that for part of it. I think she was doing something.
Well, those tables were put up by the Kingdom very early in the match outside the ring.
Yeah.
So yeah. It obviously needed work. I think nobody learned that more than Dante Martin, and it's unfortunate for him. But he does seem like he is, going to be okay, and that it's all fine, and it happens. It's wrestling. It's not tiddlywinks. There's no broken legs in tiddlywinks, and if he doesn't want to break his leg, then go and play tiddlywinks.
Christ, how hard would you have to flick a tiddlywink to break your leg?
There's probably some maths that could answer that question, but that's above my pay grade, I'm afraid. Lastly, before we move on, how do you feel about the Lucha Bros winning this match?
Yeah, fine.
Again, I feel like, considering it's the first champions after the Briscoes, I feel like you could have had a team with a more kind of emotional link to them. Like when you looked at several moments in this match, every time Matt Taven looked up at the championships, he almost burst into tears. And the Kingdom are ROH guys. It would have made a lot of sense for the Kingdom to win it.
Yeah.
I would have liked Top Flight to win it.
Yeah, well.
before it happened, because young team, a team to carry the thing into the future, but they would have had to audible out of that if that was the plan anyway. I think I would have been happy with anyone winning this except for Aussie Open. But I feel like the Kingdom or Top Flight would have been better choices personally.
Yeah.
Lucha Bros are fine. They just don't need the belts.
No, they don't.
They elevate the belts, sure, but the belts don't elevate them. They're just as good with or without them, to be honest with you. So there you go. Moving on, we will discuss the main event next, which was Claudio Castagnoli versus Eddie Kingston for the Ring of Honor World Championship.
Another new belt.
Another belt that does look a little bit kind of generic. It's a bit too plain for me. But
well, have you noticed all the new belts look exactly the same?
Pretty much, yeah.
And people who like Ring of Honor and AEW were moaning that WWE have all belts that look the same.
Yeah, even though it's only the World Championships that look the same in WWE, not everything.
I know.
Yeah, because also we had the Pure Championship match that was a great match, and Shibata winning that, kudos. That's a great coup for Ring of Honor to put a belt on Shibata and have him carry the flag for your company. But anyway, we digress. I have pros and cons for this one.
Go for it.
Let's start with cons. There was nothing Kingston? Really. Well, Eddie Kingston, obviously, yeah. But if you put that aside and, you take what you're given, and Eddie Kingston was in this main event, there was nothing really special about this match at all.
No.
It was a pretty standard match.
Yeah.
I didn't like Kingston kicking out at 1 from the Gotch neutralizer. That was a finisher that you kicked out of at 1. That was terrible. The roll-up finish was terrible. Like just horrible way to end a match. I did like Claudio's new music. Much better than that happy-go-lucky crap, which is basically the same theme. It's the same song, but they'd G'd it up really, really happy for previous, and it was just weird. But now I like that it's closer to the classical.
Yeah,
it now means that they've got two members of the Blackpool Combat Club with derivatives of a classical music song. I think it might even be the same song, just at a different point. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not.
Maybe.
I liked the back and forth chants from the crowds of "F you, Eddie" and "Let's go, Eddie." That was a very split crowd. I like that.
I know what one you would be.
Yes. I liked the slap fight on the knees. That was kind of cool. Just on their knees slapping each other. That was kind of cool. And I liked Claudio's gut-wrench suplex from the apron to the floor, even though it looked like Eddie Kingston landed on his head.
Yes.
But I don't understand why this match took place.
I don't either.
Because the only reason for it to take place is because you want to put the belt on Eddie Kingston, and you didn't do that.
Which you didn't do that.
Yeah. So and like I don't know why I'm here advocating for Eddie Kingston to win the championship.
Yeah, this is.
But it's if you're going to do the thing, because they did the whole part where Eddie Kingston quit AEW, and so Ring of Honor is where he's going to be. That is his place.
Yeah.
So why have him face the champ only to lose? Like, just made no sense that any of it made sense.
Because the Blackpool Combat Club don't have any belts now, apart from that one.
So they don't need them.
What is happening with the Blackpool Combat Club, by the way?
They've turned heel.
I noticed that.
And their premise is like, if you watch last week's Dynamite, the Dynamite after this, it makes their kind of modus operandi a bit clearer. They are professional wrestlers, and even the other people in the company who are pro wrestlers, not sports entertainers, as far as they're concerned, are amateurs. And so they're just going to beat people up and call them amateurs while they do it. Basically, that's what they're going to do.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and they have taken out the Dark Order. They've taken out the Elite. And so there's going to be some kind of mega match involving all of them at some point. Beyond Dynamite, they beat up Adam Page again and left him laying while Daniel Bryan stabbed him with a screwdriver and called him an amateur.
Well, nice.
Yeah. So that's where that is going.
Nice.
Good. They're boring as baby faces, and Moxley's going to bleed regardless. So whatever.
Yeah.
Anything to add about this main event before we move on?
No.
Okay, then let's give this a score as well. I ask you today, Dan, to give Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor 2023 a score out of 5, feet facing the wrong way.
How do you come up with these, Jez? How do you come up with these?
I take the key moment of the event and epitomise it as the rating system.
So I actually quite enjoyed this event. Not massively, but enjoyed it way more than Multiverse United, Transformers, Power Rangers, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to give it a 2.75.
You don't break out the 0.75s or the
Not
the quarters very often. So
Not
fair
very
play.
often, so,
yeah, I enjoyed this one. I think there was a lot of great moments in it. Some strange booking decisions, and there was a weird sense of holding things back. The old holding pattern from the Thunderdome, where it's like you're holding something back for later. I feel like there was a lot of that going on, so that was a bit weird for me. Like, why didn't you put some of these belts on some of these people? It's very strange. That said, I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Nice.
Decent enough, as far as I'm concerned. Moving on then. The final event of the weekend that wasn't WrestleMania, of the big groups, obviously. There were lots of other indie shows. We're not going to discuss them all. We'd be here forever.
Yeah.
NXT Stand and Deliver 2023. We have got 4 matches to discuss from this one. kicking off with the match that was on the pre-show, which was Tyler Bate and Chase University taking on Schism. And apparently, Ava Raine is now just Ava.
Yes.
Is that Vince being back, or they just preemptively going, we better start taking people's names off them because it's going to happen soon anyway?
Yeah.
Sorry, Ava.
So Joe Casey's just going to be Joe.
Joe.
That
would kind of face him. Yeah. Do you remember? You probably don't, but do you remember Just Joe?
No.
There was a guy. It was a jobber in 2000, 2001. Mostly wrestled on Sunday Night Heat. But like backstage, like he would basically go around asking people for matches, and he'd introduce himself. He's like, "Hi, I'm Joe. Wondering if you'd like a match or if there's anything I can do for you." And they were like, "Joe, is that just Joe?" Right. And then when he came to the ring, they would announce him as Just Joe. It was pretty good. I quite enjoyed it.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Bring that back.
He was Just Joe. That's what his name was. Anyway, massive digression. You can kick off this one. Pros or cons, up to you.
Thea Hale.
Was that a pro or a con?
Just a pro.
Especially in the entrance.
Yeah. Just how mental she is.
She is mental.
It is hilarious.
Yeah.
That was the big one for me.
Firecracker, I think, is a good word for her. She is a firecracker.
That's the word for her. Oh, what's his name?
Which one?
Chase you, the big guy.
Duke Hudson.
That's the one. Him kind of faking going over to the Schism.
Yeah.
I thought that was quite good.
I do as well.
And then ripping the shirt and then just
it was an obvious spot, but I enjoyed the way that they did it.
Yes, absolutely. And it was really good. I liked the way it was done. Kudos to you guys. Ava.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Still very, very, very green.
Yeah.
So green she could be the She-Hulk.
Yeah. Yeah, she needs. I think they brought her on TV very quickly, too quickly. She needs to be back at the Performance Center doing a lot more work.
Yeah, she needs to be on Level Up for a lot longer.
Yes, she needs to be out of the Schism, which is pretty much done anyway.
Might as well now, yeah.
So she needs to just go back. Joe Gacy just needs to go on his own.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to his love and peace and all that. Love is blind. Grass is always greener on the other side. I have to admit, I do like that song.
Yeah. I don't know what the next line is, though. It's kind of
that's all I know.
It kind of mumbles it, and I'm like, I don't know what that line is.
Saying that, it did come up on my Spotify the other day. So.
Oh, did it? Yeah.
Yeah.
The grass is always greener on the other side. Right, nobody knows what that line is. I don't care what anyone says. If you tell me, you've made it up. You don't know with any certainty what that line is.
Well, I can because Spotify gives you the lyrics.
Oh yeah. What does it pretend it is then?
Let's go find out.
Oh. I thought you'd remembered it. I thought.
No, I don't remember it.
Oh, okay. In that case, I'll add to your pros and cons. Have you got any cons?
No.
No. Okay.
Well, apart from Ava.
Yeah. I didn't like that this was on the pre-show. I felt like this was probably one of the standout matches of the night, and probably should have been the pre-main event just to break things up a little bit.
Yeah.
Putting that between the Gargano match and the main event to just add a bit of lightness would have been good.
Yeah.
I found it hilarious, but it's still a con that Tyler Bate couldn't for the life of him roll up a flag to hit it on the ropes like he does with his towel. That was funny. Yeah. And it's pretty crap that grizzled young veterans decided that they had enough after this match, and they've left the company.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Schism is gone.
Yeah. Schism is Dism. No, it doesn't work. Never mind. What's the lyric then, Dan?
So it starts off with love is blind. Grass is always greener on the other side. I'll never leave. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm all yours. The only reason I'm here, so baby, don't fear. I'm yours. I might have lied a few times before, but I'm living. It's not
Apostrophe.
living on here.
Yeah, living.
Yeah,
Apostrophe.
down a new road, and it goes love is blind again.
Okay, they should just do the first two lines over and over again, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was
Happy
anticlimactic. Now? No, not even a little bit. No. I feel like that's ruined my day, actually. Next match.
Yeah.
Because this didn't ruin my day.
No.
This, to me, coming up, was the match of the night.
Yes.
Wesley versus Axiom versus Dragon Lee versus Ilya Dragunov versus JD McDonough for the NXT North American Championship. I appreciated, first of all, that this wasn't just another ladder match for the North American Championship, because we've had loads of those. And I liked that it was just a 5-way match. That was decent. And it was also good to see the long-lost brothers, Wes and Dragon, in the same match.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, you had
obviously
two Lees.
From different fathers.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, a bit like the Dudley Boys, you know.
Yes,
it's a very big family. You also had the two dragons, you know, Dragon Lee and Dragunov.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a big family.
Dragon and a Russian dragon. McDonough might mean dragon for all I know. Maybe Donna is dragon. Maybe he's McDragon.
No, Donna is a meat. Donna meat.
Oh yeah, like the kebab. Yeah,
McDonough. Kebab, so
okay.
Yeah, so he's a McDonough kebab. Okay. He's a McDonald's kebab.
Okay, fair enough. Speaking of McKebab, I liked the constant battle between Dragunov and him. That was...
Yeah, I like the way that started, where they're kind of like in, and Wesley's just in between, just going, and he does all this. Then
ring the bell. Just matchmaking them. Yeah. I liked Dragunov stopping the 3 count by diving under the referee's hand and just holding the hand. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, that was really good.
I liked the double submission. Axiom on Dragunov and then Dragunov on McDonough. That was cool.
Yeah, it's the way Axiom was kind of like going,
no, this is my submission. Get off.
Yeah.
That was good. I like Axiom. I feel like he's been jobbed out quite a lot recently, and it's
his entrance needs to be sorted, because that hurts my eyes.
Oh, I quite like it. Yeah, it reminds me of Matt Hardy's old V1 entrance with the strobe lighting, so that when he did it was like really like slow. That was pretty cool, but I like that kind of thing. Not epileptic friendly, I will give you.
Yes.
I liked Wesley's twisting splash to break up the pin. Some great pin breakups in this match. You don't often get a good pin breakup in a match.
No.
And this was just constant action. You couldn't look away for a moment because you missed something.
This was great.
Was just full on. So and I have no cons. Nothing.
No.
It was all good. Yeah.
I think what we need for Dragunov and McDonough is literally let them have a match where they can just do whatever the hell they want.
I would like, but considering they've got a premium live event coming up, Battleground, build to that and let these guys have a Hell in a Cell match.
Oh, yeah.
NXT's first Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Do it. Why not?
Because they'll probably paint the cell yellow or something.
Well, either purple for McDonough or red for Dragunov.
Oh, yeah, because of... You have the different colours of chairs and tables.
They've got the props now. Might as well use them. Bring out the red and the purple from WrestleMania.
Yeah, Balor and Edge.
Or don't. That would be good too.
Or don't. That would be much better.
Moving on. Our penultimate match we're going to discuss on this mega show. Johnny Gargano versus Grayson Waller. Unsanctioned match. Which was good, really. I'm going to hand over to you, but before I do, I'm going to give you my one con.
Okay.
And it's not really match related.
Right.
No earmuffs on Baby Quill.
Oh, yes.
I find that hugely irresponsible. You know, whatever Cody's kid's called. What's Cody's kid called?
I haven't got a clue.
Like, she had earmuffs.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the baby took them off themselves, but fine.
Yeah, took them off and was like, no, Mum.
You can't do much about free will, but they didn't even try to have earmuffs on Quill.
Oh, you can do a lot about free will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not legally, though.
Well, no, I never said anything about being legal.
Right, yeah. But yeah, I didn't like that. Put earmuffs on your damn baby. It's loud.
Yeah.
Especially in that match. Because people
Damn
hate
loud.
Grayson Waller.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my only con on this match. Over to you.
Yeah.
What did you like?
Well, I'm going to build on your Waller statement. Just how good Waller is at just being an absolute
Rear end.
penis.
Penis is also a good family one. Yeah.
You know, just how good he is at doing
Keeping
that.
It anatomical.
Yes. A penis. I'm sure my mum could give me some more words because that is her specialist department in the NHS.
Is it indeed? All right.
Yes. So she could give me lots of words.
I feel like I understand your mother a bit more now. Okay.
As she says, she just spends her day playing with penises. Yeah. Anyway, just
good luck segueing out of that. Go on.
Yeah. Well, Grayson Waller being a penis.
Okay.
Just how good he is at doing it. It's just fantastic. Everyone just hates him.
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
probably the second most hated guy in all of WWE. Behind Dominic Mysterio. That guy's got some heat.
Yeah.
Big time.
He has. Fair play to Dom. But yeah, that was great. I like the way it started where Gargano's like in his entrance thing and then Grayson tries to sneak up behind him with the chair.
Yeah.
But Gargano catches him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really good. Just the way these two just went, screw it, we're just going for it.
Yeah, they went all out. They really
beat the hell out of each other. I mean, you could see by the Waller's back, the welts and bruises and everything on his back was just like, oh, oh.
Yeah, that's some genuine pain. There's a reason he wasn't on the NXT After Stand and Deliver. I think it's because like, no, mate, it's all right. You stay home, rest up.
You take a day, mate. You take a day.
Yeah.
I quite liked Candice LeRae getting involved.
Me too. Yeah,
that was quite fun.
That was really good.
Just going mental with the kendo stick,
continuing to lay in the kendo stick shots long after the kendo stick was broken, contributing to many of the welts because a kendo stick is not fine, but it's okay when it's intact. Yeah. But the moment that starts to splinter and you're basically then whipping them at the same time, that's going to leave a mark. Yeah.
And I quite like the way Waller caught the kendo stick and was like basically threatening Candice. Yeah. And then Gargano comes up behind and is like, no.
Hits him with another kendo stick.
Yeah.
More kendo stick for you. Yeah.
That was really good. And then she kind of, abandoned her baby from then on.
Yeah, she gave it to the chick that was with her.
Yeah. But it's kind of like she kind of walked out with Johnny, just like, the baby can stay there.
No, they'd gone. I did look back in the crowd. Yeah, as soon as she jumped the rail, the other woman took the baby back. So
maybe they went to look for Irma.
Maybe they did.
Yeah, and I liked how it ended with Waller tapping out. I think that was quite good.
Yeah.
That's the way I think it should have really done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because was it him that did he tap out to Bron Breakker in that match, but the referee was down or something? I can't remember. But I feel like there's a tapping out history with Waller that I'm failing to remember. But so that was good.
Yeah. So
just in addition to that, all the weapons, not just the kendo stick, that was all cool. Yeah. And the Coast to Coast by Grayson Waller. It was a nice homage to Shane McMahon.
Shane McMahon, whose legs are knackered.
Who played his own part in WrestleMania in his own special way. We discussed that last week.
His own special way.
Yeah. And then finally the reunion of the Way afterwards.
Oh yes.
Sans Austin Theory, obviously.
Yeah.
And, it would have been good if Austin Theory just came out there and was like,
hi.
And they were like,
oh.
No, mate.
No, go away.
Not happening.
Or just for a laugh. They're kind of doing a celebration. You just see Austin Theory walk across the where they come out, the big door square bit that's sunken in.
Just pokes his head over.
Just pokes his head out.
Could I?
And then just brings it back in.
Yeah.
That's what I should have done, because that would have just been funny.
Yeah. He was kind of busy, though. He was actually, very close to his own match at this point in a different part of the city. So
it'd be silly.
Main event time, then.
Mm.
Our third main event of the weekend. The second one we discussed
Christ.
because, the Tanahashi match was fine, but it was
the fifth main event of the actual weekend of all the shows we covered.
That's true. Yes. Yeah.
It's a lot of main events.
The last WrestleMania weekend main event we're going to discuss here on the Main Event podcast for 2023. It was Carmelo Hayes with Trick Williams taking on Bron Breakker for the NXT Championship, a match in which Bron Breakker was finally defeated. Carmelo Hayes is the new NXT champion.
About flipping time.
I'll kick this one off.
Yeah.
I'll start with the cons.
Yeah.
I did not like the involvement of Trick Williams in this.
No.
Because they have turned Carmelo Hayes face. And so kind of accepting the help of Trick Williams to win is not a very babyface thing. And I haven't finished watching NXT. I know that there's something happened afterwards with Bron and Mello, and I think they turned Bron proper heel. But I don't know that for sure. It's just a bit weird. It seems like Trick Williams is still heel while Carmelo Hayes is still face, and it's just a strange dynamic. So, in general, it wasn't the greatest match, but it did the job. It was fine.
A lot of people were really crediting this match. They were really like, "This is
it was a standard Bron Breakker match. It really was.
All right.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's not bad, but
No, it wasn't bad, but it certainly didn't compare with some of the other matches on the card.
Yeah.
And it was a bit of a slightly anticlimactic end after after what we'd seen. Yeah. But what was good was Mello getting into the head of Bron Breakker.
Yeah.
You actually saw him start to get annoyed, which hasn't really happened since the Joe Gacy rivalry.
No.
Way back, that was after WrestleMania last year, I think. The Joe Gacy thing, or maybe it was even before, thinking about it, before he randomly lost his belt to Dolph Ziggler and won it back on the Raw after WrestleMania.
Yeah,
very strange.
I can't remember.
I liked Bron Breakker no selling the springboard back elbow, just letting him bounce off, and it was a good recovery from Carmelo slipped on the ropes for the first time he tried it.
Yeah,
and they fixed that quite nicely. And then went back to the spot. So that was cool. Nice to fix your mistakes. And I liked the referee taken down by the double spear. He went down like a sack of penises. Keeping it anatomical.
There we go.
Yeah. That's all I got.
You pretty much summed it up.
Yeah. It wasn't a match that happened, but it was as close to a title match that happened as you can get, really.
Yeah.
So, let's give this one a score then. And close out WrestleMania weekend, finally. I ask you, Dan, today to give NXT Stand and Deliver 2023 a score out of 5 new NXT champions.
I seriously thought you were going to go anatomical then.
No, I already wrote the notes before we started getting anatomical.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I actually enjoyed NXT Stand and Deliver. With some of the matches we didn't actually talk about. There was the women's ladder match, which was relatively good. The only thing that annoyed me about that was they didn't introduce half the competitors.
They did on the pre-show.
Oh, maybe I missed that one.
They started it on the pre-show.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I'm actually going to go 3.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to give it more than that, considering you said you enjoyed it.
I'm thinking about it now.
That's your highest score of the weekend, though, isn't it? So do you of these that we're discussing now? Anyway. So is NXT Stand and Deliver the best of the 3 shows for you?
Yes.
Yes, it was for me as well. It was a little better than ROH, but there were also some pretty standard matches amongst some great ones. So it was very similar in that way. The booking decisions were a little bit better in NXT, and that's what brought it up for me. And so I'm giving it a 3.75.
Nice.
Because what did I give Ring of Honor? 3.5.
3.5, I think it was.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
we can all agree, though, that Impact cross New Japan, Multiverse United, Only the Strong Survive, Robots in Disguise, Go-Go Power Rangers, Ultraman, Kamen Rider,
I have
Henshin. Yeah, I have Power, Super Sentai, Beetleborgs is the worst thing.
Of the three, yeah. Well, and I don't know. Was Impact Multiverse United better than WrestleMania Night 2? This is the question.
I'd say they might be on par.
They're close, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say they're on
WrestleMania
par.
probably wins because it had pyro and you could hear things properly.
Yeah.
So it probably wins on that alone.
Yeah.
But in terms of the matches were better on Multiverse United.
Yeah.
And the decisions.
But it was definitely on par, wasn't it?
Yeah. Not great. Not great.
No.
Anyway, with that, we have a small announcement to make before we get out of here, and that is that the Main Event podcast is going live again as of next week. So when we return next week to discuss New Japan Pro Wrestling Sakura Genesis, we'll be live. Our regularly scheduled time, that will probably change a few times here and there, will be Tuesdays at 11 a.m. UK time, which is 6 a.m. Eastern if you're in the States. So get up early, join us for your breakfast before you head out to work. Seems like a great way to start your day as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, there you go.
We're always done, kind of within the hour. So eat your breakfast, listen to us.
Good way to start your Tuesday morning.
Book out to work.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we'll be live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. The username to all of those is @Jez Sports, up in the top corner above Dan's head. If you need the spelling help there,
over that way.
That's the one. Yeah. And so you'll be able to join in with us. We're going to do a lot more people interaction, get some questions and answers and things from you, and generally bring things back to the people again. Because while there are many benefits to recording, like we can edit out sneezes and stuff, but and if I get a delivery, I can go and get it. And can't do that if we're live, but still, I think that the live element has been lacking from this, and we thoroughly enjoy it. So it's coming back.
It's coming back. It's coming
back. So Sakura Genesis is our next one, followed the week after by Impact Rebellion, which takes place this Friday or Saturday as of recording. It's this weekend anyway. And we will finally, probably, maybe, get our Steve Macklin as Impact World Champion, as we've been calling for the last year since we started doing Impact. But there you go. The only thing better would be PCO as Impact World Champion. But there's time for that. He can beat Steve Macklin. So on that note, let's close us out for our last recorded episode of the Main Event podcast for now. We have been discussing all of this. I'm not reading it again. All of that. You've been here long enough. You know what we've been discussing. Yeah. Until next week, then. We'll join you live. I've been Jez.
I've been Dan.
This has been the Main Event podcast. Toodles.
Bye.